Hi, I'm Jeff, and welcome to another one of my videos. I want to start off this video by letting you all know I have been sponsored. Yes, my videos are now sponsored by Black Cat Comics and Collectibles here in Burbank, California. Black Cat is the best comic book shop and clubhouse on the internet and also in Burbank, California. They're my LCS. I'm a big fan of the shop over there. They do these fantastic claim sales every Tuesday and Friday on Instagram. Tuesday for new books, Friday for back issues. It's a great way to get a hold of your books. They also have this Stray Cats Club. That's a really fun kind of communal environment for comic book collectors. There's also special perks for being part of it. I highly suggest that you go to Instagram, follow them at Black Cat Burbank. I'll put all that information down in the description, and maybe consider becoming a stray cat, but definitely check out the claim sales every Tuesday and Friday. All right, another thing I want to mention is that I've gotten a fair amount of new subs in the past week or so. Thank you all so much for coming in, checking out the videos, subscribing. I appreciate all of it so much. I hope you enjoy the content. Let me know what you think of what I'm doing down in the comments. I respond to almost every single comment that I receive. Also, if you're watching multiples of my videos, please consider going ahead and hitting that like button right now. Might be premature, but if you're already a fan, just hit that like button every time you watch one of my videos. It really does help me out a lot, and it helps YouTube know to send people my way. So stop, hit the like button. Now we can continue. All right, so this video today is going to be about Final Order Cutoff that comes this Sunday for DC and Monday for everybody else. I made this video last week because there was a lot to talk about. There's not as much to talk about this week, but I've got a little extra time this week, and I really like talking about Final Order Cutoff. I like people having as much information as far in advance as possible so that you can make sure to go to your LCS and reserve your copies of these books well in advance so that you don't have to Wednesday warrior it, and struggle to try to find these issues potentially when they come out and potentially sell out. So if there's something on this list that you like, you can reserve it way in advance. All right, let's go ahead and jump in. First, I want to talk about 3 books from last week's FOC video that I think got pushed to this week. I know they got pushed to this week. The first one is Cult of Dracula. That got pushed, so you got an extra week to put that on your pull list if you're interested. Another one is Proctor Valley Road. That got pushed a week, so you can add that to your list if you haven't already. And the last one is Joker #1 from James Tynion IV. Also got pushed a week, so you've got a little extra time if you didn't already take advantage of the FOC video and make sure to reserve it for your pull list. You have a little bit of extra time, so don't hesitate to go ahead and let your comic book shop know that you're interested in those. I know I've absolutely already done that for Proctor Valley Road and for Joker #1. But let's get into this week's books that hit Final Order Cutoff this upcoming Sunday and Monday. The first one I want to mention is Amazing Spider-Man #55. This is the 3rd print. I bring it up because people are just nuts about this cover. I like it a lot. I was really excited when I picked up the trade dress version of the 1st print. Now it's becoming 2nd prints, 3rd prints, 1 in 25s, store exclusives, gotta catch them all. It's a little bit too much for me, but it is a great cover. If you're interested in these, I wanted you to know that FOC for the 3rd print is this upcoming Monday so that you can make sure to reserve it and not have to worry about not having it available on New Comic Book Day. The next book I want to mention to you is God of War Fallen God #1. This book is not particularly key in any way, shape, or form. Kratos has been around in comic books for 11 years, since around 2010, if my research was correct. But this might be a nice book that somebody who is a big fan of God of War might be interested in. It's an all-new tale set between the events of God of War 3 and God of War 2018. So if you're a big fan of Kratos or God of War, the video game, and you're looking for a comic book to read about the guy, there's a new one coming out that's hitting FOC this Monday. The next book I want to mention to you is called Carmen #1. Now this one's interesting. Let me read the description to you. Spanish writer and artist Guillaume March is best known for his ongoing extensive work with DC Comics on Batman, Catwoman, and Harley Quinn, and has worked as an artist on several graphic novels, including the English editions of Monica with Titan Comics and The Dream with Europe Comics. Here he takes up his pen for an edgy new 5-part series about a highly unconventional angel named Carmen and the young woman she takes under her wing when a case of heartbreak strikes hard. Packed with surprises and metaphysics, this gorgeously drawn series deploys tenderness and humor as it dives deep into topics that matter. I'm a little bit interested when I hear about writers who are artists and artists who are writers, similar to Peach Momoko with her Demon Days X-Men book that I talked about in last week's video. So I like the synergy that kind of comes out of it, so I'm particularly interested when that happens. It's very, very possible that a strong artist could be a weak writer and a strong writer could be a weak artist. But man, if it comes together, I think it could come together really well. So this might be one you might consider checking out just in case it does come together quite well. The next book I want to mention to you is Daredevil number 28. I basically mentioned it because this run has been really hot, especially since Elektra has become Daredevil. She continues to be Daredevil. Chip Zdarsky is amazing. This isn't a book that I think will sell out necessarily, but before Elektra became Daredevil, the print run on this was not high, and I think that it's picked up a little bit since this Elektra thing has happened. But if you are really, really enjoying it, or you're a big fan of Elektra or Daredevil or any of the above, you might want to consider just going ahead and reserving it before FOC so you make sure it doesn't sell out. Who knows what could happen at any point in that book. The next one I want to mention to you is Captain America Anniversary Tribute. Here's the description. Captain America celebrates 80 years of battling tyranny this month, and what better way to celebrate than by having a cadre of Marvel's best artists redraw and modernize Captain America's origin and the debut of the Red Skull from Captain America Comics number 1, as well as Cap's return in the Marvel Age from Avengers number 4. The legendary stories that changed the course of comic book history are presented in an all-new way for the current generation of Marvel fans. I think this is a really fun way to kind of celebrate these historic milestones, like an 80th anniversary of Captain America, to take his origin stories and to reimagine them. Basically, keep the script, change the art, and represent them in a new way for modern readers and collectors. So if you're a big fan of Captain America, this is absolutely a must-have for you and something you might want to consider reserving pre-FOC. Now, these next 3 books are interesting to me because all 3 of them are going to have lots of first appearances in them. And we all know that first appearances are the most highly collectible books out there. So it's always a little bit smart to get books that have first appearances, especially ones that have multiple first appearances, like my friend over here on my shoulder right here, Giant Size X-Men number 1, which has multiple first appearances in it. And this book is currently on fire. It is super on fire. The value of it is increasing what seems to be daily, and largely in part because of the multiple first appearances in it. So pay attention to these next 3 books, and we're going to get back to the X-Men in just a moment as we talk about these books. The first one of these books I want to talk about that's going to have multiple first appearances in it is Firefly, Brand New Verse number 1. By the way, I want to point out this cover is by Christina Kalida, which if you watched my video about the Something is Killing the Children number 14 store exclusive that I got, I'll put the card for it right there. If you missed that video and want to check it out, she is the artist of that cover from the exclusive I bought. She's also the artist of this cover. And I mentioned you're going to be hearing a lot more of her name from me, and this is just the next example of that. Here's the description of this book. Set 20 years after the events of Firefly, Serenity soars the verse once again with a new captain, Emma, the daughter of Walsh and Zoe. The old crew of Serenity has gone their own way, and now Emma is working to prove herself to Zoe, alongside a new crew of castaways and misfits just trying to stay afloat. But when Serenity takes a job from a familiar face, they discover that their new living, breathing cargo is far more than they bargained for, and might bring them into conflict with Alliance once again. Josh Lee Gordon and Fabiana Mascolo begin a new era for Joss Whedon's Firefly, with first appearances of an all-new cast, new adventures, and shocking new surprises. I was a fan of the television show. I was a fan of the movie that was attached to the television show. I have not been reading the comic book at all. But who knows? Maybe they'll take this crew of Firefly and turn that into its own show somewhere down the line, and all of a sudden these first appearances will heat up. If you're a fan of the television show and or the movie or the comic book that's been out, this is absolutely going to be a must for you. But maybe if you're just interested in checking it out or just picking up the first appearances, just kind of having your collection just in case, it might be something you might consider picking up for those reasons as well. The next book I want to mention to you is Teen Titan Academy #1. Now, one thing I'll say is with these DC books, I'm having a little bit of a hard time finding a reliable source for definitive FOC information. DC does things a little bit differently. It's not like standard 3 weeks before its release day. Sometimes FOC for a certain book might be 4 weeks, and something else that comes out that same week is 3 weeks. So it's a little, I'm going to try to find a better source for that so I can give you the most reliable information. But let's just go ahead and say FOC for this book is this upcoming Sunday. It might be the following Sunday. But I'd rather give you information too soon than too late. Here's the description of Teen Titans Academy. Welcome to Teen Titans Academy, packed with both new, superpowered teens and numerous dark secrets. Teen Titans Academy's student body includes Shazam, a new Australian speedster, a trio of Gotham teen expatriates obsessed with Batman, and one member of this first class will become the deadly Red X. Original new Teen Titans, including Nightwing, Starfire, Raven, Cyborg, and Beast Boy, take to the role of teachers and mentors for superpowered teens. Their goal, to shape the next generation of heroes. Well, this sounds a lot like a little book from Marvel called Strange Academy. And we all know how hot Strange Academy was last year. By my estimation and other people's estimation, the second hottest book of 2020, being a very close second. So this kind of book you want to pay attention to. It's got so many new first appearances. It's got a lot of new young characters. And I think part of what's happening is, and other people have said this as well, the kids today, they're not so interested in the characters that we grew up with. They don't want to hear new stories about characters that have been around for 20, 30, 40 years. They want brand new characters for their generation. So I think we're seeing books like this that will create new characters for their generation. So you got to pay attention to these. And when you have books with multiple first appearances like this, it's definitely something to stand up and take notice. It also says that one of the members of this class is going to become Red X. Now, whether or not that's the character that everybody is specking on to be the new Red X, apparently it's going to be revealed in Future State Teen Titans #2. Probably a lot of you, by the time you've watched this video, or the information is probably already out there. I actually hope the spec is incorrect, but we'll see about that. But regardless of the Red X spec, first off, Red X is clearly a character that's here to stay. Not a flash in the pan. They are going to ingrain him into the DC universe, so he's not going anywhere. But this book seems like a hot one to pay attention to. You might want to go ahead and reserve it in advance of FOC. All right, finally, the last book that I want to talk about today, the book that I'm most excited about in this week's FOC, in part, once again, because I am such a big X-Men fan, as is evidenced by this book that I have out here today. And its FOC is coming up this Monday. The book I'm most excited about this week facing FOC is X-Men, Children of the Atom, #1. Here's the description. When did the X-Men get sidekicks? Now. And don't miss the debut of the greatest teenage superhero of all time. They've learned from the best, and now they're ready to be put to the test. But who the heck are these kids, and where did they come from? Guest starring the X-Men. So I'm excited about this book because it's got new characters in it. It's an X-Men book. But I also have some reservations about this book. I kind of wish that these sidekicks were more original, more unique in and of themselves. The way that the covers for this book kind of present them, they appear to be presented as kind of like mini Cyclops, mini Angel, mini Jean Grey, mini Nightcrawler, and mini Gambit. I hope that the characters end up having a lot more individuality than what these covers are implying. That being said, I am a big X-Men fan, so I am going to give it a shot, and I am definitely interested in a book that has this many first appearances. It's a must-have as far as I am concerned. So it might be something that you absolutely consider picking up before FOC this week. That's basically all I have to say about the book. I've said everything else there is to say about multiple first appearances and my love for the X-Men. So that's why this book is the one I am most excited about, with a little bit of cautious reservation. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. If you appreciate the fact that I highlighted these books pre-FOC for you, now's another chance to hit that like button. Come on, do it. You know you wanna. I would really appreciate it if you did. If you have any anything to say, any comments that you'd like to leave, please go ahead and throw them down in the comment section. I respond to every single comment that I'm left, so come on, let's mix it up. Let me know what you're thinking down in the comments. As well, if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, I appreciate you watching this video, especially all the way to the end. I invite you to hit the subscribe guy, and of course, hit the notification bell so you're informed when I put out videos just like this one. As always, thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you in the next one.